13 quarters.
And they will continue to score. As long as we got Emmitt Smith going, they're going to score.
All right, our other 1 o'clock kickoff is Tampa Bay at Detroit.
Cool, clear day in Irving, Texas, at Texas Stadium as the Giants come in to play the Dallas Cowboys. A battle for first place before a sold-out crowd, over 60,000 in attendance. Here's the way it looks in the NFC East. The Cowboys, who've won 5 straight, 5-2, along with the Giants, who lost that heartbreaker to the Jets last week, also 5-2. Dan Reeves, the Giant coach, first regular season visit ever to Texas Stadium as a head coach. Pat Summerall with John Madden. What do the Giants have to do to win this game, John?
Well, of course, they were counting on having their all-pro running back Rodney Hampton back today. They tried Rodney Hampton out in the pregame warm-up and decided that he couldn't go, so they're going to start Lewis Tillman again. And Lewis Tillman isn't bad. He's averaging 5.3 yards a carry, so what they'll do is they'll play Tillman and Dave Meggett, try and control the ball. I think a lot of it is this offensive line. They have to control that Dallas defense, both on run blocking and pass protection.
And the Cowboys have a lot of firepower.
And you talk about a running back that's hot. How about this guy, Emmitt Smith? Last week, he gained 237 yards. And he said yesterday he's ready for another day like that today.
Brad Deloiso set to kick it off. Temperature right now 54 degrees. It's supposed to get up in the low 60s. Partly sunny all day long. The wind 10 or 15 miles an hour. Kevin Williams and Kenneth Gant back deep for Dallas. Brad Deloiso to kick it off. Vita Williams at the 4. To the 22. Good coverage. Troy Aikman, the quarterback for Dallas, operating behind a veteran, big, strong offensive line. 2-8, Newton, Stepnoski, Gogan, and Eric Williams. And the fellows who handle the ball, Emmitt Smith, Darrell Johnson, the 2 running backs, Irvin and Harper wide. Jay Novacek is the tight end. 1st and 10, Dallas at their own 22. Aikman, as good as there is. To Smith. Outside the 25, and let's look at the Giant defense. 3-man front, Fox, Dillard, and Hamilton. The 4 linebackers who make most of the tackles, Canavis, McGee, Brooks, Bailey, and Miller. And the secondary, Perry Williams and Mark Collins, the cornerbacks, Jackson and Guyton, the 2 safeties. They're playing well.
I'll tell you, that sure looks different, though, when you look at those New York Giant linebackers and you don't see number 56, Lawrence Taylor, as the starter.
He may be used on special occasions. This is Smith on the lead draw that they run and like so much. Close to a first down. Corey Miller made the stop with Stacy Dillard.
You know, the guys that really have to make the tackles, the way this defense of the Giants is set up, is Michael Brooks and Carlton Bailey, the 2 inside guys. What the defensive line does is they try and just foul up blocking combinations, hold the offensive line, not let them get to the inside linebackers. And then Bailey and Brooks are the leading tacklers on this team, and they have to be because they're the guys they try and free up to make the tackle.
3rd and short, about a yard. Novacek lined up on the flank to the right. Smith gets the first down. Stopped by Jackson here, the leading tacklers for the Giants. As John Madden said, Bailey and Brooks, the 2 linebackers in the middle.
And look, if you look here, right here, these are the 2 guys, right? And the whole defense is made up so that the 2 inside linebackers make the tackle. Now, the front group, Dillard and Fox and Hamilton, they're in there just to try and keep those blockers off these 2 inside guys.
Just to hold their ground. If they do that, they feel they've done a good job. Here's Aikman back to throw. Outside to Darrell Johnston. To the 43, 42 maybe. Stopped by Mark Collins and Michael Brooks.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys are going to use Johnston more as a receiver today, out here in this short flat like a tight end. Jim Price, who's their second tight end, is injured and isn't going to play today, so they're going to use Johnston as a fullback, but also as a second tight end type.
2nd and 5. He, of course, is a fine blocker for Emmitt Smith.
He's a good football player.
Here's Smith. Hit right at the line of scrimmage by Brooks.
Emmitt Smith stocked up after a short
Brooks
gain.
didn't give.
And that's exactly the way this defense is supposed to work. We were talking about the inside linebackers making the tackle. Michael Brooks is the guy. You see the line is going to take on the blocks, and you're going to see 94. Boom, right there. See, he's free. No blocker could get on him, so he's free. And when you're free, you have to make that tackle.
And that was well done by Michael Brooks. 3rd and 4. Emmitt Smith got perhaps a yard. Here's Aikman to throw it. Outside, complete to Novacek. Novacek close to midfield. 1st down, Cowboys. Taken down by Collins.
Now the Giants are trying to get David Tate. They're playing Tate on Novacek. Tate was on Novacek, but Aikman is so hot now, and he is so accurate with his passing that the coverage was there, and he still threw the ball in there. Now watch Aikman. He's gonna put that ball in there. Number 49, Tate, is on Novacek. He's right there. That had to be a perfect throw. Aikman put the ball to Novacek, the only place that he could catch it.
1st and 10, close to midfield. Aikman will throw it again. Throws it outside to Emmitt Smith. And Smith gets to the Giant 45, knocked out of bounds there by McGee.
This is one of the things the Cowboys felt that they had to start their passing game with. The way the Giant defense plays, you're not going to be able to hit the outside receivers a lot. So they're going to work this inside. They're going to work underneath, and they're going to work the short area. You see, they have the underneath, and now they hit the back coming out of the backfield. So they've thrown to Smith, they've thrown to Novacek, and they've thrown to Johnston, and haven't gone to their outside receiver check.
Smith again. Inside the Giant 40 to about the 38. Brooks and McGee. Myron Guyton with an assist.
He's going to get right in here behind his right guard. You watch Gogan here and Williams there. Those are two big guys. They weigh about 620 pounds. Then you get that lead block there by Johnston, and just some great running by Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, if you look at him physically, he doesn't look that big, but he is 210 pounds and strong. Aikman with time to Michael Irvin. Another Dallas 1st down. Stopped by Perry Williams.
That's the first pass to a wide receiver, and they know they have to get the ball to Michael Irvin. So what they said is they could get it to him underneath. And you can see by coming under in this area right here is where they can do it. If we can just start it and show what underneath means, we see the motion come here. Now, Irvin is left up on this side right here. See, now he starts here. Now underneath, the linebackers and secondary come here, and he just runs right underneath on a crossing pattern. Then he hits that pass there. See, so they had to start him on one side, motion him to the other side, and then bring him underneath the pass defense.
And the Cowboys have taken their first timeout. Aikman over to the sideline to check. 9:16, the Cowboys left on the move.
A lot to see, not a lot to hit, but very quick and very, very powerful.
And durable.
I think he's one of the toughest running backs in all of football.
Aikman fake to him, gets the ball to Johnston down to the 15. Second reception for Darrell Johnston, known as the Moose.
Yeah, and old Troy Aikman said we're going to use the Moose more again because we don't have our second tight end, Jim Price. We're going to throw him the ball a little more, and I said, you mean you're going to feature the Moose? And he laughed and said, no, it'll be a cold day before we ever feature the Moose.
We'll utilize the Moose, but not feature him.
I'll tell you, he's a very important part of this offense. So, I mean, you know, you get your Michael Irvins and you get your Harpers and your Emmitt Smiths, but a guy like Johnston makes a lot of it possible. I mean, he's the guy that'll catch that short pass. He's the guy that'll make that lead block for Emmitt Smith. He's a very important part of this offense.
That much for a first down. Aikman, by the way, is 5 out of 5 in this opening drive.
This is when you love to be a coach. When you got things going like this, but second and real short is the easiest down to call a play on, because you can do anything. And if it doesn't work, well, you still got third down. And if it does work, you can say, hey, look at that call. You get a wheelbarrow out there.
3rd and 1. Very short. Jimmy Johnston will take a gamble once in a while.
He loves to gamble.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that makes him the top coach that he is that he will gamble in all areas.
Novacek in motion. And Smith to the right side. He might have gotten the first down, but maybe he did not.
You know, they look like that Kevin Gogan. They didn't get it. Kevin Gogan was the tight end on that side. I don't think he got off on the ball.
Laid off the ball. You're right.
They start there. Now he looks like the ball snapped and he doesn't move. You see, he gets off there late and he lets Corey Miller get up and get penetration.
And somehow the ball came loose. The Cowboys got it back. This is a 34-yard field goal attempt if we have one. Eddie Murray.
The Cowboys are short a guy. But they didn't have a wing on the left side. The Cowboys only had 10 guys. Here he comes now.
It was a moose. He was loose. And they couldn't find him.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Bayer Select cold and flu products, exactly what's right for exactly what's wrong.
Eddie Murray sets up to attempt a 34-yard field goal. Jay Novacek holding. Now they've got all 11 men in there. Murray is good. And the Cowboys, after that long, time-consuming drive, get a field goal and lead 3-0. The Giant offense then will be led by Phil Simms. In front of him, a good offensive line. Elliott, Roberts, Oates, Kratch, and Riesenberg. Lewis Tillman starts at running back again. Jared Bunch. Blocker for him. McCaffrey and Jackson, the wide receivers. Howard Cross, the tight end. 13 plays for the Cowboys, 61 yards. They kept the ball 7.5 minutes.
Now we're going to see number 29 there, Kenneth Gant. He's one of the top cover guys in the National Football League. But before he covers, he goes through a little deal. He's going to walk back here and get the fans excited. You get the other cover guys, they're just regular cover guys. And see now Gant's getting them started now. See, and then he'll walk back there and then he'll start firing them all up.
Getting himself started too.
That was kind of a tame one for Kenny Gant.
Got that job of a hunker. Short kick by Murray. Going to be handled by Megan. Megan to about the 26-27. Beg your pardon, it was Callaway, not Megan. The Cowboy defense, 4 men up front. Haley, Maryland, Casillas, and Tolbert. But they do a lot of changing. Darren Smith, Ken Norton, while he can, and Dixon Edwards. Norton has that separated bicep muscle. Brown, Everett, Woodson, and Kevin Smith in the secondary. The pitch is back to Lewis Tillman. Tillman out to about the 30. Stopped by Norton.
You know, it's an interesting thing. The Cowboys used a new defense on that when they put Charles Haley on the strong side Then they put a linebacker on the tight end inside, so they doubled up on crossover on that side, expecting the strong side run, and the Giants on the first play came back away from that.
This now is their normal defensive setup, with Haley on the right, the rest of the defensive line the same. This is Tillman. Hit first by Darren Smith. Charles Haley with the assist.
One thing about Tillman, he's a slasher. He is going to get into and out of the hole quickly. I mean, he gets there in that handoff, and he sees something. He's going to put his head down and run right through it. He's not a dancer. He's not a shaker. He's not moving and going back and forth. He's a slasher.
That's the word all the coaches and all the opponents use to describe him. Slasher. Third and short. That was Meggett, who did not even get back to the line of scrimmage before he was hit first by Norton and then by Smith.
Yeah, Darren Smith wasn't blocked, and he came flying in that backfield. I tell you, he gets to Meggett. Watch number 59 as that ball snapped. Here's Meggett. He's going to take off, and he's just running a little delay up the middle. And there comes Darren Smith. He blitzes in the hole that Meggett was trying to run into, and no one blocked him.
Landetta back to punt, standing at about his own 21. For Landetta. It'll roll dead about the 31. 5:06 left to play in the... .506 left to play in the first quarter. Dallas leading 3-0. That's the Ring of Honor. The Cowboy players, the outstanding players of the past, some of them at least, inducted into the Ring of Honor. And at the half today, the former coach Tom Landry will be put into that Ring of Honor. It's been quite an emotional week.
As Dan Reeves said, if it weren't for Tom Landry, there'd be no Ring of Honor.
On first down, Emmitt Smith. Stopped by Carlton Bailey and Corey Miller.
And those are the two guys, again, the linebackers. We talked about this defensive line. They're up there. They're trying to, take the blocking combinations on, keep those linemen off those linebackers. And then if you do that, the linebackers then have to make the tackle, and then they can use that loose umbrella or that loose cover 2 double zone defense.
Second down, Aikman back to throw it. Good pressure by the Giants, but Irvin's open. Into New York territory.
And that's the way they get man-to-man. The Giants usually play zone defense. That time they were man-to-man because they had a blitz. And you're going to see, here's Michael Irvin. Here he's going against Collins. He just runs his pattern up here. You see, because of the blitz. You see the blitz inside? Now that makes him play man-to-man. Michael Irvin just runs an out. He just runs Collins deep. Collins was playing like a post or a deeper pattern, and then Michael Irvin just cut it out.
16-yard gain for Dallas as they move into Giant territory. First down, Emmitt Smith. To about the 41, stopped by Hamilton.
And what the Giants are talking about is how they're going to get their running game going. In fact, there's Meggett. They wonder, where that blitz came from on that third down play. Because if the Giants are going to have any chance today, they have to have ball control. They have to win the battle of possession, and they have to keep the Dallas offense off the field. They haven't been able to do any of those things so far.
Emmitt Smith already with 9 carries to Harper from Aikman. Stopped by Guyton. Boy, Aikman is throwing it about as well as you can throw it.
Yeah, I mean, he's so accurate right here. He can throw right into coverage. You watch Perry Williams is there. It's that double zone. and all Harper does is just get inside of Williams a little, and he has to hit him between Perry Williams, the corner, and Greg Jackson, the safety, and he put it in there perfectly. I mean, Troy Aikman right now is the most accurate passer in the National Football League.
He hasn't missed today, 7 of 7. This is Emmitt Smith. Pulled down as he tried to take it to the outside by Canavis McGee.
One thing about the Giants, the way they play, if you can just look here, you see they have these linemen in here, so they want to stop the inside running and make Smith take it or bounce it to the outside. And that's what they're doing, and that's what they've been able. You see how tough they are inside. You see, everyone takes the inside and they make him bounce it to the outside, and that's what they want to do. Michael Brooks took the inside, didn't let him have a cutback, didn't let him have an inside hole, bounced him out.
Aikman with time, going for a punch to Harper, touchdown. Again, the perfect throw from 28 yards away.
Troy Aikman has been perfect. Anytime they catch him in anything except that double zone, they want to get to their wide receivers. They beat Mark Collins on an out when he played the post, and that time they beat him on a post when he played something else.
Aikman is 8 out of 8.
Aikman has shown us how you play quarterback in the National Football League if you want to win back-to-back Super Bowls.
Murray for the extra point. 10-0 Dallas. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Cowboys lead it 10-0. 10-0 Cowboys. Gant going through his little cheerleading procedure to excite himself and the crowd and the rest of the coverage team.
Michael Irvin was saying that, you know, he is really feeling his oats now. Michael Irvin says you have a saying, don't rock the boat until you make sure you're on it. He said Gant knows he's on the boat now. He's sure as heck rocking it.
Murray's kick handled by Megan at the 5. Vanderbeek down to make the stop and to make it return.
Yeah, that's the thing that the Cowboys have is they have real good cover guys. They have Bill Bates and they have Kenny Gant here. Now Gant is a guy that we talked about that goes through all the things. Now if you're going to go through all those deals before, once that ball's kicked, you better run down there and take on blocks and not pull up and just keep going until the whistle blows, because you're going to be a marked man.
First and 10 Giants at their own 20. Here's Phil Simms back to throw. Screen pass to Tillman. And Tillman into the Dallas secondary outside the 40 to about the 43.
I think what the Giants have to do now, and they start off here with just a screen pass. Again, Simms is going to come back. Let Tillman fake like he's blocking. See, he takes a block on there. Let the screen, the line get out in front. Good block there by Cratch. And just get something going. Just think now, let's get some first downs. Hey, it didn't start off very well.
No, it did. Started a little juggling. First down, Giants at their own 42. Simms fakes to Tillman. Chase. Pass is complete to Bunch. Out of the backfield at midfield.
Yeah, the reason that one to Tillman, it didn't look too good, is Tillman doesn't have a lot of experience at catching the football. He's in there and he's a runner. If they're going to pass, they usually put in Dave Meggett. In fact, that was the first reception that Tillman has had this year. It's a little screen pass and he kind of bobbled it. And once he caught it, he could run with it. I don't know how many he's going to catch.
Simms starts Howard Cross in motion this time and gives to Tillman. Tried to get it outside, cut down by Norton.
Well, in the pregame pregame show, we were seeing Ken Norton, and we know that last week he tore his bicep. And there was a question whether he was going to be able to play or not, but that was a good read right there. He just read that thing, and then he found that gap. That was his gap, and it was almost like a blitz getting in that hole.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Dallas 10, the Giants nothing.
DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
1874, the first transatlantic cable connecting Ireland and America. It was made by Siemens. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens makes telephone switches that handle 1 million calls an hour or billions of bits of data per second on a single phone line.
Third and about 4. If you look at those first half statistics, they wanted to control the clock. Dallas has been able to do that. That's usually the Giants game. 3rd and 4. Megan in the backfield. Cowboys showing blitz. McCaffrey. Flag on the play. Covered. Jimmy Jones might have jumped off sides early. And then there's another flag downfield.
Of course, that was the nickel defense of the Cowboys. The Giants had their 3 wide receivers in. They read blitz, so they were trying to just get that quick up out there. Jimmy Jones is one of the pass rushing inside guys for the Cowboys, and it did look like he jumped.
Then there was another flag downfield. Dick Hantack is the referee. Bill Sims is still full of enthusiasm.
Well, I think they have a pass interference.
I think so.
Is the one that they'll probably take, because that's going to, well, any penalty would give the Giants a first down here.
That's probably what Phil Sims is talking to Dick Hantack about right now. We'll take the longest one.
Yeah, of course, if it were interference, then it's going to be a real long one. If it's just pushing or hitting after the 5 yards.
We have multiple fouls on the defense. Offside. Defense number 94. Penalty is declined. Pass interference. Defense number 26. Penalty is accepted. First down. Spell the foul.
So long penalty is against Kevin Smith. Haley was the man they named as jumping off sides. I don't think it was Haley. I think it was Jimmy Jones.
Now, I think Jimmy Jones jumped in that neutral zone, but the one that they took anyway was the one on Kevin Smith.
Right. First down in any case. Giants at the Dallas 36. This is Lewis Tillman. Tillman with a lot of room, a big hole and a giant first down inside the Dallas 25, about the 23.
You know, that's one thing that you can do against this Dallas Cowboy defense. Even talking to Jimmy Johnson, he admitted that. He said the matchup that we don't really have is this one. Our defense against their offense. Now watch this hole out. You see, you just stretch it, and the minute you see daylight, now that is daylight. Anyone would run to that. You see, remember old Vince Lombardi run to daylight? That's a big old daylight Tillman saw there.
Not much daylight on the next play, however, but a flag on the play.
Russell Maryland and Vincent Edwards leading the defensive charge. A flag tossed into the pile.
That was one of those that came from that deep official that is usually against the tight end, one way or another, either the tight end.
Face mask. Defense. 5 yards. Repeat the down. First down.
Or someone against the tight end. Now, Jimmy Johnson hates this. I mean, Jimmy Johnson is a neat freak, and he likes his players to play perfectly, and he doesn't want any penalties. He doesn't want any turnovers. And these two things in a row, or three penalties really in a row, are driving him crazy right now, I'll guarantee you.
See if we can find the face mask. There it is. On Thomas Everett. 1st and 10. About the 16-yard line of Dallas. And Sims will throw it. Had Megan open, but couldn't quite get it there. Good play by Darren Smith. Got his hand up and knock it down.
Yeah, I think Sims put a little too much air under that one because, as you said, he had Megan. But one thing about Darren Smith, he's a rookie, but he's a rookie that can really run. Now, the Cowboys love speed, and this is where speed helps their defense. See, that ball is thrown up. It has a little too much air under it. In other words, he kind of lobbed the ball in there, and he let Darren Smith catch up to it.
He had time to get there. 2nd and 2. Tillman did not get it.
You know, they're having a lot of success, or they were having a lot of success running to their left side in there behind Jumbo Elliott. The Giants have a good offensive line, and of their offensive linemen, number 76 there, Jumbo Elliott is the best.
Jumbo's got some problems with a pinched nerve in his neck, and sometimes when he gets tired, he doesn't have much strength in his left arm.
They don't even have a pass rusher over Jumbo out there. Look at that, they don't have any run rushers from that right end.
Sims' pass is complete. Mark Jackson knocked out of bounds. That'll be enough to make it 1st and goal.
I like that. I like that call here. It's kind of 3rd and short. Instead of going to 2 tight ends, they go to 3 wide receivers. They spread the defense out. They just get man-to-man out there, and Jackson, and boom, he just hit Mark Jackson out there. That was on Kenny Gant.
Right.
Made him on short yardage. It made the Cowboys play nickel by spreading them out. That's not a bad move.
So it's 1st and goal at about the 7.5. Tillman the lone setback. Pierce was the man in motion. Tillman doesn't get much. Hit low by Russell Maryland, high by Ken Norton.
And Russell Maryland was the guy who made the play. Again, when you're going to run anywhere, you have to stop penetration. Or if you're on defense, the first thing you have to do is you have to get penetration. Now watch Russell Maryland here. He's going to get penetration. Now that's the thing. You see, they start the block. Now right now, he gets the penetration. He did a lot of things though before he got that penetration. He really played that block well. He manhandled the block.
2nd and goal at the 7. Sims to throw it. Touchdown. You had to wait a minute. It's Jackson. Got both feet down. And the end zone. Flag on the play, however.
Yeah, we're talking about Troy Aikman getting the ball in a tight place. I'll tell you, Phil Sims did too. Watch this ball. It looked like it took off a little on him, but there's not a lot of room out there, and that's a perfect pass to Mark Jackson. Although there's a penalty and it's going to come back, it was still a great pass.
Holding. Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Holding called against Bob Cratch.
Now, you know, that the Giants got down. They had a couple of penalties on this drive against the Cowboys, and they finally get a touchdown, and then they have a penalty against them.
Sims back again. Complete to McCaffrey. Bounced around off tacklers. Finally taken down by Gant, but about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I thought those passes to the outside took off a little on Sims. I thought that one, the touchdown they threw to Mark Jackson, and that one he threw in the end zone to Megan. But I'll tell you, that one there, he zipped that ball into McCaffrey there. That was a heck of a throw. Watch this one. I mean, this one is a line drive. I mean, he threw a rope there. That is a heck of a throw. Now, a lot of times these guys have to throw the ball. They don't even see the guy they're throwing it to.
Right. 3rd and 4. Jackson was the man in motion. Sims incomplete. Intended for Megan. Settle for a field goal.
You make it in the backfield. Now, anytime it's 3rd down and less than 5 yards, the defenses are going to play Megan. You see right there, Kenny Norton was just waiting. He was just waiting, and then behind him, he had Thomas Everett. So they doubled Megan on that play, and I think most teams will do that against the Giants when it's a passing down less than 5.
David Treadwell from 21 yards away. Hits the field goal. And with 11:07 left to play in the first half, Cowboys 10, Giants 3. Carries 39 yards. Tillman 7 rushes for 23. Both teams trying to run the ball and use as much of the clock as they can.
I thought the Giants on that last drive threw the ball well. That pass that Sims into McCaffrey was a heck of a throw, as was the touchdown pass to Mark Jackson that was called back because of holding on Bob Cratch.
Caduriso. High kick. At the 1. So finally got him out of bounds at midfield. They've been waiting for that.
I know that. Yeah, here's the touchdown play. Now the guy that they call is Bob Cratch there for holding. He said it's going to be a touchdown pass that was called back. Cratch is blocking against Casillas, and it's where he got his. I guess what they have to call, then he grabs him with that right hand, and he fell right in front of Sims. So I think they had a couple things they probably could have called on Bob Cratch.
And they did. 1st and 10, the ball at midfield. Dallas ahead by a touchdown. Aikman going to work for more. Come on, get the ball. He got another one. Quarterbacks and some great throwers over the years, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody throw the ball more perfectly than
I think the best thing the Giants could do now is throw a bucket of ice on Aikman because he is hot.
9 out of 9, 2 touchdowns. Murray's extra point is good at 17-3.
Alvin Harper is going to just run right by number 47, Greg Jackson. They play that double coverage. The safety has to take him. Catch Harper. Giants play a double zone. We're going to get a rotation by Perry Williams, and then Jackson coming deep. Harper gets by the bump and then just runs right by Jackson. You see the bump here? Now watch, he just has too much speed. He just runs right by Greg Jackson. And a perfect throw by Trey.
And Murray is set to kick off. This one's deep and good. And they'll stay there. Callaway handled it. Meggett told him to remain in the end zone. Let's go back to that touchdown again. There are more than one.
Well, and I'll tell you what the reasons are is right here, this front group of the pass protection, because to be able to throw deep like that, when the guy does get bumped, you have to have time. Aikman pump and then be able to stand and throw the ball like that. That's excellent pass protection, and that's where it all starts. I'll tell you, this day that Aikman is having just a man. I mean, he's not just throwing little short, dinky passes. I mean, he's throwing some bombs in there too.
As North Turner, the offensive coordinator, says, he's throwing it very straight. Bunch. Stopped by Dixon Edwards.
First contact came from Tony Casillas.
Hey, you watch here. You see, there's Casillas here. He's gonna take on Williams, the center, because they play over and under. He plays. And the minute that he feels that double team, he turns his back. And you turn your back on the double team, and then a lot of times when he slip block, that will push you right into the runner, as it did that time.
2nd and 5. To Tillman this time. He's got some room. But the door shut very quickly.
This is the thing that these ball control teams really have trouble with, is getting down 17-3. And that was the point that I was making earlier, is that you can run, you can have a good line, but some point when you play the Cowboys, because they're so explosive, they have so many weapons, their quarterback is so hot, you have to be able to throw the ball.
And when you get behind, as you say, like this, that's what you have to do. 3rd and 2. That's what Sims will try to do. And does. This is going to be off to the races. This is Callaway. Run down by Everett and Kevin Smith.
I don't know why he just didn't keep running straight ahead.
I don't either.
Kevin Smith was coming across, and Callaway just ran right into him. Doesn't look like he had a touchdown. If you just watch this, he's out here to the right of the screen. Sims drops back. He kind of throws the ball sidearm, gets it here. Now look, if straight ahead, just keep coming this way. Keep coming here. Just keep that. See, he turns back right into the guy. That's unbelievable.
A lot of looking.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know what the heck he saw. You just look at the end zone, boom, and you just smell it and go to it.
1-yard pickup. Trying to be a flea flicker. Sam gets back to the ball, and that backfires. They try to go in a hurry. Too big of a hurry.
Yeah, they tried to go in a hurry with the trick play, and it didn't work. I think Sims isn't laughing there because it didn't work. I think at the end of the play, they were trying to get the ball away from him. Again, you see, he hands it to Tillman. Now, Tillman tries to take it up as far as he can and then throw it back. But when he throws it back in an errant way. Now Sims has the ball, the play's over, and you see Tony Casillas trying to take it away from him there.
Yeah. Megan. Megan is sandwiched between Jeffcoat and Kenny Gann.
Pass complete.
Hey, you look at Jeffcoat, and he doesn't start anymore. Played 11 years in this league, but he sure hustled on that play. I mean, they got a good block to the outside. They made Megan cut back, and there was Jeffcoat and Gann. Whenever you see a defensive lineman downfield making a tackle on screen on a cutback, that means the guy's hustling.
3rd and 25. Sims had to step up. Dumps it out to Derek Brown, who had stayed in to block. Brown gets him back in field goal range at least.
I think Dan Reed knew that in this game that he was going to have to take some shots, and he always has trick plays in his bag, and sometimes they work. Remember, we did the Washington Redskin game, and everything that he did worked, but that time it didn't work.
The bag wasn't quite big enough.
Tim still looks like he has a smile on his face over that one.
Maybe that's not a grimace. Treadwell. Flag on the play. The field goal is good, but there's a penalty marker down. That was 45 yards away. Like Fishback might have rolled into kicker.
Well, it could be a 5-yard penalty, or it can be a 15-yard. I think a 15-yard penalty would give them a first down. Then they would have to take the points off the board.
Going to be against Alice.
Yeah. So is it going to be a 5-yard against them or a 15-yard? Now, if it's a 15 and a first down, do you take the points off?
Maybe
Defense
just offsides.
lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
58 and 43. The penalty is declined. The field goal is good.
That was a no-brainer. You had to do that. If it's not a first down, you got to keep those 3.
So the points stay on the board. It's Cowboys 17, Giants 6.
She's thorough, resourceful.
She's very competitive.
Back at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys 17, the Giants 6. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Troy Aikman. His last 5 games, his first 10 passes.
Well, you know, he had an area there. He didn't do well last week because it was raining in Philadelphia. 49ers 7 for 10, but those other 3 games, it was 9 out of 10, and today, of course, he started with 9 out of 9.
That's going to be Williams from 2 yards deep in the end zone. Remember, he got off a long return last time. And this one is going to be as long. No, it's not. Probably ran as long, but got back to the 40.
Well, that's a bad day for old Chris Callaway. He's the guy that had to play. Could have been a touchdown, and then on that play he had a tackle, and he kind of came up with air on that one. It was an ugly looking run and an ugly looking tackle.
47-yard return. First down. Cowboys at their own 43. Harper is left. Irvin is right. That's Novacek in motion. And that's Smith. Nudges it up past the 45.
We give to Evan Smith.
Dallas started their own 22, got a field goal. On 32, got a touchdown. Midfield, took them 1 play. They got another touch.
No, they've done that without Lawrence Taylor playing on defense, and he just came in. I think this is the first play that Taylor's been in there. They've been waiting to put him in, I think, on that 3rd and long, and the defense couldn't get him into 3rd and long, so this is a 2nd down, a 2nd and long situation.
Taylor put the heat on Aikman. He still got the ball out to Emmitt Smith. Let's watch Lawrence Taylor.
Well, he's going against Mark Tuinei. Mark Tuinei, a big, strong tackle, and Taylor, you know, has that bad hamstring, so he's just trying to make a quick move, and Tuinei just lets him go and just pushes him right by. Lawrence Taylor, I think that hamstring has just been driving him crazy. You know, he's tried all the regular treatments. Last week they played the Jets, and after the game, Ronnie Lott says, why don't you try acupuncture? So he's tried acupuncture a couple times this week. Says that it feels looser than it has in a number of weeks.
3rd and 5. Aikman finally missed one, but there's a flag on the play intended for Novacek.
And you don't think Dan Reeves is excited? Dan Reeves saw that all the way. And he doesn't want it on this guy. He says the offense can push off too.
There's no foul on the play as the ball had been tipped. The ball had been tipped. No foul. 4th down.
Well, that's what Dan Reeves was saying, that you can't have a penalty if the ball is tipped.
After it's tipped, you can't.
Once the ball is tipped, and then it's a free ball, then you can go for it, you can fight for it, you can do anything for the ball.
Corey Miller tipped it right at the line. John Jett back to punt for Dallas. And Dave Meggett deep. That one will not be. End zone, and the Giants will take over at their own 20. 17-6. Dallas lead.
Working with Johnny and Doc, how great that was. That wonderful band. You know, every night.
Cut. Hey, guys, we've got the wrong McMahon. Look, Ed, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be a football spot, and you're supposed to be Jim McMahon. There's a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Jim is injured. Listen, I got the headband and everything. Well, it's a big doubleheader next week on CBS. Don't forget to be watching, okay? Go get it. Beautiful.
Well, first down, Giants at their own 20.
I think if one McMahon's out, I don't think you'd go with the other McMahon. I think you'd go with Sean Salisbury before you go with Ed McMahon, wouldn't you?
Until he gets a better helmet.
Or a better passing motion.
Yeah. Here's Sims. Out to Chris Callaway. Talk about how well Aikman's been throwing the ball. So has Sims. A couple of those took off early, but the last few have been right on the money.
And he's going to have to throw the ball because, you know, the running game isn't doing it. In fact, the Giants lead the NFL in rushing with 158 yards per game. Today they only have 31 yards, and part of that is because the Cowboys have had the ball so much. Another part of it is the score is 17-6 in favor of the Cowboys. So those things keep changing during the game.
This is the man in motion. This is Tillman. Not much there.
Charles Haley.
You know, the guy that's always in there, you watch this guy right here, Charles Haley. It just seems like whatever he does, whether it's a run or pass, he just kind of raises havoc. I mean, he takes on a block. He always knows where his blocker is, and he always knows where the ball carrier quarterback is, and he can always play one against the other. And he uses leverage better than anyone.
2nd and 8. Sims is 8 out of 10. Callaway again, close to a first down. Should have it. Larry Brown, the defender. But again, the pass right on the money.
You know, watch Charles Haley. Now he's playing on the other side. Again, you talk about leverage. Leverage is getting your shoulder pads underneath the guy and lifting him up. Now, when you lift the guy up like that, that takes all his power out, and it gives you the power advantage. And Haley, like I said, does that as well as anyone.
At their own 43. Sims again to throw. Going deep. Callaway.
But if the Giants had a little speed, their wide receivers, they could really do some business today, because Callaway really was open there. I mean, he beat the double coverage, and that's what Sims is telling him. Hey, just keep going. And he was trying to lead him, because he could have led him right through that coverage.
Like some sort of a penalty. Against Dallas.
24, 5-yard penalty.
I still never did hear it against Larry Brown.
Yeah, and it had to be defensive holding. It was 5 yards, so it had to be that he was the guy that Callaway after he went 5 yards.
So it's a first down in any case. They're on 48.
And those penalties driving Jimmy Johnson crazy. I mean, he
did well to make it back to the line of scrimmage if he did. Jimmy Jones.
The Cowboys are a tough team to run a draw on because they're so fast. I mean, if you look at those defensive guys in there, the defensive line and the linebackers, they aren't big guys. I mean, they aren't real big, but they're very, very quick. So they can start on a pass rush and react to a draw. And they're all good tacklers, too, although the last couple of weeks, Jimmy Johnson said they haven't been tackling well.
11. Cowboy rush. Norton. Gets a pass to hit that. He got rid of it. Intended for Mark Jackson, incomplete.
I think that first guy in there was Darren Smith. I think he was the first guy there, and he just missed. You don't want to jump. You never want to leave your feet. You see, he really has a free shot there, and William Roberts just knocked him off a little. You always want to keep your feet and run right through him, like Ken Norton did at the end of the play there.
3rd and 11. Sims back to throw. Hit just as he let the ball go, almost picked off by Gann. But the Giants will have to punt. Again, Sims under hard pressure.
Yeah, Gann almost got an interception. But watch Haley here. 94, he's the guy who hit Sims just as he threw the ball. That's a stunt. Haley starts on the outside, and then he comes on the inside. But you see how Haley does? Yeah, how he raises havoc. He's always in there grabbing something. His left hand grabbed Phil Sims' right arm just as he was throwing the ball.
Landetta, punt. Williams back deep for the Cowboys. Sort of a liner. There's Emmett Smith looking for someplace to go. Gets out to about the 19. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The score in Texas Stadium is the Cowboys 17, the Giants 6.
Hey, MCI friends and family.
Last night here at Texas Stadium, inside that tent was a reception in honor of Coach Tom Landry. They're seen on the right. That's Crawford Kerr with him. Jerry Jones and Dan Reeves. Don Meredith, Bob Hayes, Dave Manders. Quite an affair honoring Tom Landry, who will be put into the Ring of Honor here at halftime today, and that's where his plaque, his name, will be. Aikman gives to Smith, and Emmett Smith gets out to the 30. Stopped by Carlton Bailey, Myron Guyton.
You know, it's nice to see Tom Landry go in this Ring of Honor and kind of be here today. It's the first time since he was let go by the Cowboys that Tom Landry has been here in the stadium.
First game he's come to.
And it's nice to see. I mean, it's nice to see him kind of come back. Nice to see him in the Ring of Honor, because there's only one guy that belongs there. Of course, it's Tom Landry.
Keith Hamilton is the man who got the sack on Troy Aikman. Cowboys have one timeout left.
You know, that could be a big play going into halftime, because Troy Aikman had really in this first half done everything he wanted to this Giant defense, and maybe this is the start of turning it around.
A minute 21 left to play in the first half. 1:21 left to play in the first half as they prepare to get ready for the halftime ceremonies. That was Bob Lilly in the first car.
Well, you talk about a defensive lineman now. There was a great defensive lineman.
To give to Emmett Smith.
Tom Rafferty, who was a long-time center for the Cowboys. There's Bob Lilly.
Bob Lilly's starting to wave before the parade starts. He's practicing his wave and shaking hands and stuff.
He was the first inductee into that Ring of Honor. He made quite a speech last night.
Boy, was he tough to block. You know, you think of pass rushers as being defensive ends in those old four-man lines, and Bob Lilly was a defensive tackle. It's funny you see that. Thanks, Mr. Landry. Dan Reeves says is all those years he cannot call him. He cannot call him Tom.
Landry was saying back during the heyday of Bob Lilly, he said they're great linemen, they're outstanding players, but there's only one Bob Lilly.
Inside there was a tall guy. I mean, remember the defensive tackles used to kind of be short guys.
Yep. Aikman to Smith. He's fighting for some yards on third down, and now I believe the Giants will take a timeout. Stopped by David Tate. Dan Reeves could not be part of the ceremonies here at the half today honoring Coach Landry, but he did have some thoughts about his former coach.
Well, first of all, Coach, I've got to thank CBS for giving me this opportunity. They know I'm going to be busy at halftime and won't be able to take part in the ceremony. I just want to say congratulations. It'll be nice to come into Texas Stadium now every year and look up and see your name up there where it belongs. You meant so much to so many people, nobody that you meant more to than me. I thank you for what you've done for me, and from the bottom of my heart, I just say, I love you. Thank you.
Dan Reeves with his quarterback. Phil Sims. Dan said organization, Coach Landry taught him, preparation. I guess you could just go down a long list.
Yeah, and class. I think, you know, when you think of the Dallas Cowboys and Tom Landry and Dan Reeves, and you just think of the word class.
Jet back to punt it. And Megan deep for the Giants. Kick by Jet. Megan at the 23. Broke away from one tackle and now got some room. Dave Megan to about the 43. 50 seconds left to play in the first half. 53-yard punt by Jet. Good return by Megan.
Yeah, the Giants have made a couple plays here at the end of the half that could give them some momentum going into halftime. That was one we just saw there, but before that on defense, when Keith Hamilton got a sack on Troy Aikman, they finally got some pressure there. They finally made something happen defensively in the passing game. Now if they can get a couple of plays here and get something going, then they can go into this halftime feeling pretty good.
Stay with. Going to be covering the ceremonies, putting Tom Landry into the Ring of Honor. Here's Sims. The screen pass to Megan. He got one block. Steps out of bounds at midfield. The man in the hat.
Just out of bounds by number 40.
Tom Landry.
Yeah, that's a great memory there. You always think of Texas Stadium. The man in the hat, Mr. Landry. A lot of fans still call him Mr. Landry, and you know that all his ex-players still call him Coach Landry.
On second down. 43 seconds now left to play in the first half. Sims hit from behind by Tony Tolbert. And Sims might be hurt.
That was a heck of an effort by Tony Tolbert. That became his backside. Tony Tolbert came from the left side all the way around the horn.
Graham with no time to warm up. Has to take the sack. Pressure from the Cowboys, this time from Jeffcoat. There's Don Meredith looking on.
So much for momentum. I think the Cowboys felt that the Giants may have been getting some, and they just took it away. First it was Tony Tolbert, and then this play it's Jim Jeffcoat. They knocked Phil Sims out of the game. Kent Graham comes in the game, and Jeffcoat says, welcome to the game. I tell you, this Cowboy team sure came alive here on defense at the end of this half.
There's Don Perkins. Led the team in rushing every year he was here, I think. Landetta comes on to punt it for the Giants. Chuck Howley, one of the members of that Ring of Honor. Got him in a trade with the Bears. They think that's probably the best deal they ever made.
Yeah, and then Leroy Jordan's here. I saw Leroy Jordan last night. I came over here to the stadium to watch the fight. They had it here on pay-per-view. I'll tell you, we got a lot of stuff going on here for first place. We're talking about Ring of Honor, but that heavyweight championship fight last night was a great fight.
It had its own Ring of Honor. Kevin Williams back deep. Landetta to punt it. Good kick by Landetta. Williams retreats to about the 16. Not much there this time.
49-yard punt, return 7 yards.
Amazing thing about Tom Landry, he didn't change much. Here's the gentleman who succeeded him. They've had 2 head coaches in the history of this franchise. That one and Jimmy Johnson.
The way this one is going, he's going to be in that Ring of Honor someday. In his 5th year, he already has won the Super Bowl championship. I tell you, he's done a heck of a job, too. I mean, he came in here and really didn't have a heck of a lot going for him and built the championship team. And right now they still look like they're the best team in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys.
Phil Simms looks as if he is okay. He was stunned a bit. That's the end of the first half with the score. Dallas 17, the Giants 6. Landry, the Cowboys lead the Giants 17-6. And there is the man in the hat.
So many great moments from Texas Stadium through the years. From CBS Sports, Pat Summerall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to honor some very special people, the members of the Ring of Honor. These are the people that made the Cowboys America's team. So let's, one more time, introduce them to you. First of all, inducted in 1975, defensive tackle Bob Lilly. Next to him, inducted in 1976, quarterback Don Meredith. Also in 1976, running back Don Perkins. Next, linebacker Chuck Howley. Inducted in 1981, defensive back Mel Renfro. Inducted in 1983, quarterback Roger Staubach. And in 1989, linebacker Leroy Jordan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys owner and president, Mr. Jerry Jones.
Coach Landry. Coach Landry, the only coach the Cowboys had for 29 years, 270 victories, 13 playoffs, 20 straight winning seasons, 5 NFC championships, 5 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 Super Bowl wins. That great record is only transcended by the fact that you represent for sports what we all in sports would like to be represented, and that is a higher cause and a bigger meaning. You've done it all on a competitive basis. We honor you here today. Our Ring of Honor stands for the men who built this franchise and had it called America's team. That's what it stands for. This would not be the Ring of Honor without you, Coach Landry, and also you in it. Congratulations to be in the Ring of Honor. Coach Landry, here's our...
Well, I want to say that this is really an outstanding day for me, personally. I don't know how you can thank all the people that are responsible for putting this thing on here, but I do think that this is one of the great times. I'm honored to be in the Ring of Honor in there. You know, as I look at those names up here and these guys here that I'm so proud of here, it was amazing what they contributed, you know, to the winning seasons that we had. You know, when you take Don Meredith and Don Perkins, who started out with that team that started at 0-11-1, boy, we were really moving in those days, you know. And they took a lot of beating through the years in there. And of course, Bob Lilly was our first pick in the draft that we had, and he went through a lot of those tough seasons with the Green Bay Packers and all. I remember when we got our first Super Bowl with Baltimore, and we thought we had the game won, and we thought we would finally win, and they kicked the field goal to beat us, and Bob picked up his helmet and threw it about 70 yards. He threw it further than our passer could throw it in that particular game in there. But these guys are all great. Mel Renfro, tremendous person. Chuck Howley was the
most valuable player in our first Super Bowl win on defense, and that's one of the few times that ever happened in there. But I tell you, when you take Roger Staubach, when you watch him play, everybody was on the edge of their seat. I tell you, and every time that Roger was there. Of course, we know that, really with Leroy Jordan was one of the smallest middle linebackers in the league, but he was one of the best in there. I think it's a tremendous thing. I know that we wouldn't be here. I know I wouldn't be here, or they wouldn't be here, if it wasn't for all the other players. We had the alumni in this weekend, all those guys and their coaches and all that did so much for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just sorry today that Clint Murkison, the late Clint Murkison, is not here. He would have enjoyed this day tremendously because he was a great owner in there. And of course, with his leadership, with Clint's leadership and Tex Schramm's leadership, we set our sails in what we did through all those years, and it made it possible that we could achieve those things. We had a lot of people, we had a great organization, and we had a lot of good people working for us in those days. And I would like to really take this opportunity, since the New York Giants, my old team, I played for the New York Giants and the Cowboys through all these years, and I'd like to thank Wellington Mayer and Ann Mayer, who have been great friends of mine through the years. They prepared me with the New York Giants, to become the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And so I'm just delighted to be here today, and I want to thank Jerry for all he's done to make this a special day. Thank you very much.
So congratulations to Tom Landry and to the other members of the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. Halftime activities will continue after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Halftime at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys 17, the Giants 6. Tom Landry in the Ring of Honor at Texas Stadium at the half.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, makers of the exciting all-new Celica. Watch out, it's here. Little Caesars Pizza, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price. Energizer brand batteries, nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and going. And by Sprint.
Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall with John Madden. The Cowboys lead the Giants 17-6. Just about set to start the third quarter. He may have started more than the third quarter.
It doesn't take them long, does it?
No, it doesn't.
They have a ceremony, they induct it. The next thing you have is a mask out there.
Somehow, I think they planned ahead.
Well, there's the mask and no hat, and there's the hat and no mask.
Murray's kick to make it. He will stay in the end zone. Halftime statistics. Pretty even. 9 first downs apiece. Look at that time of possession. That's pretty close too.
Well, you know, the Dallas Cowboys had it the first quarter and, won all that time of possession and everything in the first quarter. And then the Giants came back and got most of their stuff in the second quarter. And the thing that hurt them is when they were getting that time of possession, they only got 6 points.
That's what happened to them last week against the Jets. Here's Sims to Tillman. Lewis Tillman hit from the side and hit hard, but a 6-yard gain hit by Woodson.
Now there's a guy who can hit you. Some safeties tackle you, and some of them hit you. And the thing about Woodson, he used to be a linebacker, so he's kind of one of those guys who was half a linebacker and half a defensive back. And when he hit you with what they call decleaters. Tillman's cleats came boom right out of the ground.
He's about 220. 2nd and 3, and a safety man at that size, like those 2 from Denver. The handoff is to Bunch, short of the first down by perhaps a yard.
He's met by a bunch.
Yeah, he was playing well in there as Russell Maryland anytime they run in there. And it's amazing. He has 2 bad big toes. In fact, he was showing us that one. He showed us his left big toe, and it comes out, and it starts out like starts straight, and it turns left. So when he points with his left foot, his left toe never hits the ground. It all goes to that second toe in there.
Looks like a bumpy interstate.
Said he's always going to have problems. He had one foot operated on.
Phil Simms didn't like what he saw, took a timeout, and he'll come over to the sideline. (17-6) Dallas. 13:38 as the third quarter has just begun. Look at some of the other scores. San Diego over Minnesota. New England ahead of Buffalo. Denver shutting out Cleveland. Here at Texas Stadium, it's 17-6. Dallas over the Giants. Third and short, about a yard. And Sims gets to Tillman. Tillman with some room around the corner, close to midfield.
I'll tell you, the guy that made that play was Jumbo Elliott. Did he fire out? Jumbo Elliott looked like he was just shot out of a gun. I mean, that's the way you do it in short yardage. You just watch Jumbo Elliott get right in here and push it. You get this first movement right there, and then that's going to make a hole. But watch that fire out. Boom, right there. The tight end coming down. I'll tell you, that really created a hole. I mean, the tight end and the left tackle firing out.
Cross and Elliott. This is Tillman again. Slung down by Tony Tolbert.
When you have those 2 guys on the same side, when you put Howard Cross, who is a good blocking tight end, and you put him right next to Jumbo Elliott, who is a good run blocker, you're going to find some creases in there. And the 2 of them just blew that Cowboy defensive line off the line.
Jumbo is well named. He's huge. 2nd and 10. Megan. That's Jackson in motion and sends back the throw. Outside to Megan. And out of bounds by Norton.
That's complete to number 30, Dave Megan. Out of bounds by number 51.
Here's Lawrence Taylor. It's a frustrating time for LT.
Well, it sure is. I mean, remember last year he had the Achilles tendon and thought that was the end of his career, and he rehabbed that in the offseason and came back. And this year he has a pulled hamstring that just can't get better. And you remember what he used to be, and you know that he remembers what he used to be, and it has to be tough for him and for everyone watching.
Third down and about 3. They're showing blitz. Washington came up, jumped back, and still keeps coming. And down goes Sims. Jeff Coat. Jimmy Jones. And Chad Hennings close by.
You know, they played the game right up to the end, and you just watch them. You see what happens here is they're showing them here. They're showing a blitz right here. They're showing a blitz right here. They're showing a blitz here. They're jumping in and out of it, and then what that happens is everyone gets a guy. Jimmy Jones comes on a stunt, and no one blocks Jimmy Jones.
So Landry goes back deep to punt to Kevin Williams.
That was a game within a game that the Cowboys won.
Good kick by Landry. Gonna handle it at the 2. Around the corner, almost knocked out by Diassi is Kevin Williams. 47-yard punt by Landry.
Making the 18-yard line.
Classic television. Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres.
Arnold Ziff. Who played him? Nobody. He was the pig. Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French.
I loved him. He's attractive.
Pete, Link, Julie. Okay, Ginger or Mary Ann?
When you order a Bigfoot pizza from Pizza Hut, remember to order some Pepsi, or you'll be making a mistake. A very big mistake. So when you order Bigfoot, don't forget to ask for plenty of Pepsi. Bigfoot Pizza, a legendary value.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop.
17-6, Dallas leading the Giants. 11:46 left to play in the third quarter.
I bet you Lawrence Taylor had a talk with Dan Reeves at halftime, and probably with Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, and said, look, we're down 17-6. I'm waiting for those pass rush situations. I feel good. How about just let me play on first down? And now we see him in there on first down.
That's Harper in motion. This is Emmitt Smith. And just a couple. We're talking and did talk throughout the first half about how well Aikman was throwing the ball. He's only missed once, John.
Yeah, and that one was 7 out of 8 under 10 yards, and that was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And if it weren't tipped, he was perfect. 1 for 1 between 10 and 19. 1 for 1, 20 to 29. And of course, 1 for 1, 40 yards deep. That was a deep one to Alvin Harper against that double zone.
Assuming he has time, here's the next one. That was almost picked off. Mark Collins read that perfectly.
And that's what you have to watch out for with that double zone, because that corner can do that. He can jump in front of you because he knows that he has his safety back in there behind him. I'll tell you, Lawrence Taylor doesn't have a chance when he's going against big Eric Williams at that tackle. He took one shot at Williams, who I think is the best tackle in football. He took one shot at him and decided he'd go back.
He started in the other direction in a hurry.
I know it. That guy, Eric Williams, he'll put you in another direction in a hurry.
Aikman back to throw. To Emmitt Smith. He shook one tackle from Smith. He goes up to the 40. Just outside the 40, Dallas first down.
And that was David Tate. David Tate had the tackle, and he just missed it. But here, Aikman is looking. Smith comes on a cross. Now, that should have been a 2-yard gain. David Tate just misses a tackle right there. Of course, a guy like Emmitt Smith has a little something to do with it. Watch how he uses his arm. He just puts the ball in his left hand, takes the right arm there, and puts it up there, and then pushes Tate off. So part of it was poor tackling by Tate, good running by Smith.
On first down, Aikman chased out of the pocket. First down again, more for Aikman. Down to the Giant 40. 19-yard ramble.
And you got to give credit to Jay Novacek for that one. That would have been about a 5-yard gain if it weren't for Jay Novacek. His tight end makes a block out there for him in the left. Watch it. He's going to start here. He's going to go play pass. He's trying to throw in the middle. In fact, he had a guy open in the middle. He couldn't see, but watch right there. Boom. See, Novacek. In fact, Novacek got 2 blocks. And that gave Aikman a long gainer.
The last one on Lawrence Taylor. First down. Flags and whistles.
All start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Gogan. Too soon that time. Earlier in the game, you might remember he was late. In fact, he didn't get started one time.
Well, that was when he was a tight end, and this one when he was a guard. It's funny, Kevin Gogan came in there when John Giesick, who was the starting right guard, was hurt, and then Giesick got healthy, and he just can't get back in there. We were talking to Jimmy Johnson. He said, you know, I was talking about that rule that you can't lose your job to an injury. You always wonder whoever said that.
Who started that rule?
Yeah, I don't remember a rule.
But you remember last year, whenever we did a Cowboy game, they would always say that John Giesick grades out better than anybody.
Yeah, he did. One of the officials is injured, Pat, and he's sitting down on the Giant bench. Like the Giant trainers are working on him right there.
Side judge.
They're taking his shoe and his sock off. Probably looking at his ankle. You know, the officials can make an adjustment, which they're going to do, and go one official short. In fact, they're checking his Achilles tendon is what they were doing there, but they've made their adjustment now.
Here's Aikman. A lot of time. And finally slides down. He's chased by Keith Hamilton. Aikman shaking a bit.
I don't know that he didn't pull something there, Pat. I mean, you know, he's run a couple times in a row. He got that big one over on the left side when he got the block from Jay Novacek. And on that one, right at the end, he looked like he kind of jerked and maybe pulled something. You know, he does have a bad back. See, and this had nothing to do with a hit, but you can watch, you can see the grimace on his face right there. You see it right there? He pulled something right there. That had nothing, it looks like a hamstring, but remember, he did have back surgery in the offseason.
And he did come back in a hurry.
And you know, he's running more probably in his last 5 minutes than he's run in a long time, and it's right there. You just see it. That looks like a hamstring.
Gotta be. Yeah, you saw him grab.
As he started to roll over, but that's
left hamstring.
Yeah, there's no good hamstring, but when you go down and stay down like that, that's a bad hamstring. The good kind is the kind you kind of think, oh, I think I have a cramp, and it turns into a hamstring.
If you look back at that play, Eric Williams didn't throw a block. If he had, he would have clipped Hamilton. And he used good judgment not throwing. He just sort of tried to shield him.
Yeah, and then Aikman had to outrun Hamilton. We're working on the official taping his ankle or Achilles, and Aikman's up on the other side.
9.5 left in the third. That's Troy Aikman headed for the locker room. That's got to be hamstring. Jason Garrett, in the meantime, is the quarterback for Dallas, number 17.
Yeah, we did a preseason game against the Houston Oilers, and Jason Garrett looked real good.
Second and 19. Garrett hits his first pass to Emmitt Smith.
Jason Garrett's pass is complete to Emmitt Smith at the 41-yard line.
Emmitt Smith headed back to the huddle. Jason Garrett is the guy they call Rudy. After the movie, officially, it is a left hamstring strain for Aikman.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. I mean, you could see, you know, when we had that close-up of the grimace on his face, and admitted it had nothing to do with a hit or a contact or a twist. It just had to do with a pull of something.
Here's Garrett. Completes again to Emmitt Smith. David Tate on the stop.
Yeah, they called Jason Garrett Rudy because he was the guy that wasn't expected to make this team. Remember, they lost Steve Berline as a backup in the offseason. Then they brought Hugh Millen in. They thought he would be the backup, and in essence, Jason Garrett beat Hugh Millen out in training camp. Not only made the team, but is the backup quarterback.
Murray to try a field goal of about 54.5 yards with Novacek holding. Not much of a rush. Underneath the crossbar, no good. And the Giants will take over. 7:52 left in the third quarter. 17-6 Dallas. First down, Giants at their own 37. Dallas leading 17-6. Bunch in motion. Pitch back to Tillman. Tillman short of the 40 by Dixon Edwards. It's the Giants in their first 6 possessions. They've had a punt 4 times. They've got the 2 field goals.
And of course, that's the thing with that, you know, that possession, that running game, that ball control. It all works if you score or if the other team doesn't score. I'll tell you, they have a little advantage now, I think, with Troy Aikman out of there, because he was 11 out of 13, and he's in the locker room now. They're going to be playing Jason Garrett.
Here's Sims back to throw. Under an avalanche to Brushers. Down he goes, and it's incomplete. Right now, let's send you to New York for an NFL update with Greg Gumbel.
All right, Pat, and in Pontiac, here's the only touchdown of the day between the Lions and the Bucs. Rodney Peete finds clear sailing up the middle for 9 yards and a touchdown. Detroit leading Tampa Bay 13-0. Just over a minute to play in the third quarter. Pat?
At Texas Stadium, it's 17-6, the Cowboys leading. Here's the pressure on Sims.
Yeah, and this is where they're having problem now. They're having problem pass protection. Russell Maryland just made a heck of a move there on Bart Oates. I mean, he went into him, gave him that swim move. Boom, he was right on Sims.
3rd and 7. McCaffrey, it appears, has a giant first down. Sims saw him coming that time.
Yeah, this is going to be where they spot that one because McCaffrey had that right at the first down marker. It's where that official puts his foot down.
47-yard line.
They will measure. Less than 7 minutes left now in the third quarter. Aikman is gone. We think a strained hamstring, left hamstring. He's in for examination. Now they're going to measure and see.
Yeah, they have to bring the change in from the other side. That one sideline just has the markers. This sideline had to change.
First down. I'm going to stretch it out. They stretched as far as they could.
You know, some of those markers are the ugliest things in football, aren't they? I mean, the way you wonder where they stay during the week. Like, where does something like this hang out during the week? It look like they just stick it into some dirt or something.
They don't take a bath. No bath.
They don't hose them down.
No. Here's Tillman into Cowboy territory, stopped by Ken Norton. Darren Smith was also there.
The Giants are running the ball pretty well, and they look like they're run blocking pretty well. The problem that they're having right now is pass protecting for Phil Simms, because it looks like Simms can complete some things if he can get some time. And from right at the end of the half and this quarter so far, he's having a problem getting time.
Especially Russell Maryland right up the middle. Putting on a lot of heat. That's Tillman. He didn't get much.
And they tried to run right at Russell Maryland, and he's not only a good pass rusher, but he's a strong guy against a run block.
Well, you know, Jimmy Johnson said to us when you were asking about his health, that he said, well, he's got bad feet. But even with bad feet, he's better than most.
But you see how he plays there? I mean, the center blocks back. Roberts comes down on him. Boom, he just puts both hands out on Roberts, stops him, and makes the play.
This for a guy, a young man who didn't even want to play football.
Now, his father had to talk him into it. Almost didn't get a scholarship. He weighed 320 pounds in high school.
The blitz worked this time. Norton all over Sims.
That's where the Giants are having the problems. They're having their problems with pass protection. We're going to see Norton right here. He's lining up here. Washington's here to fake the blitz. And Norton just comes right up the middle. Roberts blocks down. He should have blocked Norton. He came down. Maybe he was called down, but he came down and Norton went boom right by him.
Landetta back to punt again. Kevin Williams standing back at about the 11. Signals fair catch, makes it at about the 21 or 22. So Dallas will take over there with Jason Garrett as their quarterback. 5:06 left in the third.
But here's what you can't do. You can't have the back going that way and slide your line this way, him block out here, because there's no way you can block that guy. So they should have either kept the back on that side or kept Roberts in there. Now you want to see how quick it happens to a quarterback. Watch that. Boom. You say, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Then you see in real time how quickly it happens.
Let's see what happens to this quarterback. He gives the ball to Emmitt Smith. That's a wise choice. Jason Garrett has replaced Aikman, stopped by Bailey.
Yeah, we talked about Jason Garrett and being the long shot to make the team. He's an Ivy League player. In fact, he was a great Ivy League player. He was the quarterback from Princeton. His dad was a coach. I remember when his dad was a coach. His dad is now a scout. Yeah. He had a couple of brothers who were good players. And so he's really from a football family that went to Ivy League school.
To the Moose. Darrell Johnston trying for the first down. Crazy Ray has got something else on his head now. Oh, that's Kenny Gant's shark.
Yeah, Kenny Gant, you know, has a whole thing. He has those hats you can wear, that shark defense. He got a shark tank. He got T-shirts. He got baseball caps. He has everything. There he is. He's a guy that covers kicks, and he's a nickel defensive back.
Got a great smile to go with it.
Like Michael Irvin says, don't rock the boat until you get on it. He says Kenny Gant's on it. He's rocking it.
Corey Miller stopped him, and Smith, the flag on the play.
And 4 on the play before he is stopped by Corey.
Against Dallas. There's number 79. You wonder why he's such a good tackle, because he's so big. You see the size of that guy?
Offense, number 66, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, first down.
That was number 66, Kevin Gogan. Look at the size of those guys. I mean, that right side, Gogan, he's about 330 pounds, and Williams is about 330 pounds. And you wonder if you have to rush over those guys, you know that you're not going through those guys.
You better go around.
You better go around and hope they don't get their hands on you.
First down. Garrett back to throw it. To Darrell Johnston. Mark Collins knocked him out of bounds.
I'll tell you one thing about Jason Garrett, for a young guy, just that picture of him there, he really looks cool. I mean, again, I think this helps coming from a football family. He's been around it all his life, and he may be nervous, he may be tense, he may be excited, he may even be scared, but he's not showing anyone.
He's 3 out of 3. And you know he's nervous. You know he's scared.
Usually when you lick your fingers, you're going to throw the ball. Usually quarterbacks lick their fingers, and the next play is a pass.
That's a pretty good sign. Flag on the play, however, as whistles start.
We used to always key that. We would stand, you know, try and call our plays, and then watch a quarterback, and he'd come out and lick his fingers.
Ball start. Offense, number 80, simulating the start of a play. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Did you really think that was a tough decision? If they lick their fingers?
If they lick their fingers. Oh, well, then you always worry about the guy that's going to lick his fingers and then throw a draw or something, you know. And my guys are all rushing the passer, and the runner runs right by him. I know one thing, that the Cowboys have 6 penalties, and the 2 things Jimmy Johnson hates, like I said before, are penalties and turnovers.
Second down. Here's Garrett back to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Irvin, who had crossed from the slot on the left side.
You know, Michael Irvin caught a couple of passes in the first quarter, and he hasn't caught one since. In fact, I think the way the Giants play their normal defense, that loose umbrella defense, that double zone, that kind of takes a read away. It takes the outside receivers away from the quarterback's reads and makes them go to underneath. I think that's why we see so many passes to the backs and tight ends today for the Cowboys.
3rd and 17 for the first down. Garrett to throw it. Novacek out of bounds. Well short of the first down, knocked out by David Tate.
And the Giants should get the ball back in pretty good position, and the Giants can run the ball, and if they could just get some pass protection, they may be able to pass it, but that's the thing that's been letting them down.
Dave Beckett, number 30, the lone safety for the Giants at their 20-yard line.
Landetta, beg your pardon. John Jett back to punt. Megan back deep for the Giants. Jett's kick is a good one. Megan has to look into the sun. down at about the 24 by Matt Vanderbeek. For an NFL update, let's send you again back to our New York studios. Greg Gumbel.
All right, Pat, at Pontiac, Barry Sanders having another fine day running the football, 155 yards. He sets up this 1-yard plunge by Derek Moore. Early in the fourth quarter, the Lions lead Tampa Bay 20-0. Pat and John.
Late in the third quarter at Texas Stadium, Dallas still leads the Giants 17-6. The winner of this goes into first place in the NFC East. Sims back to Tillman. The pursuit is good. Norton and Tolbert are there quickly.
You know, Kenny Norton, they were worried about Kenny Norton with that torn bicep, whether he was going to be able to play or whether he had to have surgery. Now, he had two options. If he had surgery, he'd have to miss the entire season. And if he doesn't have surgery, of course, he has to play with the torn bicep, then have surgery in the offseason, which will be a more difficult surgery. He decided to play, and today, you know, I mean, he's having a problem holding that one arm around, but he looks like he's playing real well.
Playing very well. This is Megan. Megan at about the 28.
Outside the 25 here, the 28-yard line.
Like I said earlier, the Giants are able to run the ball and run block, and here's where they're having the problem. Sims has been sacked 3 times, hurried 4 times, been knocked down 6 times. He hasn't thrown an interception, though, and that's been. I mean, he's been able to keep that same playing, but this is where he needs the pass protection.
He never has been a guy who's thrown many interceptions. Third down. 4 wide receivers. Sims. Look out from behind. He does get rid of it. But the pressure again was there by Dallas. And they'll have to punt.
Yeah, that's another knockdown. I mean, as good as this offensive line is, it's not doing a good job of pass protection today. You see Riesenberg there. He was beaten right off the bat by Haley. That was the first thing that happened. And then Jeff Coat is in there, and just everyone was getting all over him.
And here comes Aikman back.
You're going to have to guide me.
Out of shoulder pads, out of uniform.
Yeah, that's the good news. He's coming back. The bad news is he doesn't have his football uniform on.
Landetta's kick is short this time and high. Fielded by Williams. And he's got some room. Chased by Landetta. Landetta got an arm on him. I don't know if he tripped him or waved him out of bounds.
I don't know what he did, or maybe he gave him a push.
No more fresh information. Here's a tackle.
No, that's nothing. Although he did get a hand on him. But a hand like that shouldn't make you do that. I'll tell you, if you're a punt returner, first of all, the punter shouldn't be able to tackle you. But if he gets a hand on you, you shouldn't go down with that. That's very embarrassing.
Dallas will take over at the Giant 49. Jason Garrett, the quarterback. Aikman just came back a moment ago. Walked back, but walked back limping. Newton in front of Emmett Smith. Big Nate got somebody down and then fell on him.
Yeah, Big Nate can get out there and move. I mean, you look at Big Nate, you say he's 320 pounds.